So let's immediately try another hand because I want to finish with a, a positive experience of some sort. What was this auction? I mean, yeah, one spade overcall. I get the two hearts from north is completely out of our system, especially since east already opened the bidding with a heart. And east repeats his heart bid. So east has a six-carded heart suit, presumably. Maybe even seven-carded, I don't know that yet. But alright, so we can expect most of the missing high card points to be with east. Let's look from south's perspective. We have one or two Trump losers, I suspect, depending how Trump splits. And we have a heart loser and a club loser. So I suspect there won't be any issue if Trump split 3-2. Then we can just pull 2 rounds of Trumps. Uh, maybe eliminate the ace of clubs first. So we can rough our final club loser in dummy. Then pull 2 rounds of Trumps. And then we can just... Yeah, we don't... We will lose one Trump trick, but there will not be a problem. So that won't be the case. Trumps will split 4-1, presumably. And I suspect 4 Trumps to be with West, since East already has a 6-carded heart suit locked up. Well, there's not much to choose on this first trick anyway. There comes another heart. Yeah. So is there a decent chance that West overruffs this? I suspect East to only have a 6-carded heart suit. And if West can overruff, he will at some point. I mean, if we duck this trick, East will just continue hearts. So we have to try rough here. Yeah, so now another heart return from East would be very unpleasant, unfortunately. So maybe Trump's actually split 3-2. And the problem of this whole hand is that East has the ace of clubs. For its opening, he must have. And if we now drive out the ace of clubs, East will surely return a heart. And West might overruff and tank our contract that way. And if we draw 2 rounds of Trumps first, then after winning the ace of clubs, East might actually play his last Trump, and we don't have an opportunity to rough our final club loser in dummy anymore. So I suspect even with a 3-2 distribution, there might be a problem. Is there any chance we can sort of persuade East to delay winning his ace of clubs? Or maybe I should word that better. Maybe we can persuade East to play his ace of clubs at a point in which we didn't invest our queen or our king, since then we would have enough winners in hand that we don't need to ruff a club loser anymore. Is there any benefit to playing a heart from dummy at some point and just letting East win that trick? Because East is the only one with hearts. I'm surely there's not. So the final thing that I need to look for is there an opportunity for some sort of squeeze against East, presumably, since West doesn't have a heart anymore. So North has quite an impressive heart threat at some point. Maybe we should just draw 3 rounds of trumps. And let East win the final round. Yeah, I'm actually quite satisfied with this possibility. So play. Yeah, 3C trump split 3-2 after all. So now my temptation would be to not draw the final rounds of trumps. It doesn't really accomplish much. But to cross in diamonds, rough a heart, and then just play 4 rounds of diamonds basically. Although I don't think it really hurts to draw the final trump. Because East will win that and he surely cannot play clubs from his side, so he will presumably return a heart, which we rough. In which case, the heart threat in dummy is alive and well. Yes, we don't have any more trumps, but don't think we need them at that point, since dummy only has 1 heart anyway, which is a threat card. Although, no, that doesn't work. Since East will, in that case, happily keep his ace of clubs. Maybe that's the thing. We need to play one round of clubs through East, maybe. That doesn't accomplish much either, since yeah, so East has a sure trump trick, and he surely wins the ace of clubs at some point, so those are the only two losers we can afford. So drawing the final trump is out of the picture, since in that case we only have one trump left, and he will happily drive that out by returning a heart, and then as soon as he wins the ace of clubs, he can continue hearts. And we cannot ruff, so that's out of the picture. So should I just play 4 rounds of diamonds right now? Right now and just see what East does. Maybe ruff a heart in between, but so the heart threat becomes a little more imminent. Yeah, maybe. So let's play 2 rounds of diamonds first. Yeah, East discards already, so East, it doesn't benefit East one iota to rough this, since he would just give us more flexibility in the trump suit. So that's rough a heart in between. That cannot hurt, since we remain with one heart in dummy. And we shorten East's heart suit by one. And now just let's play 2 rounds of diamonds, I guess. But East will happily discard hearts twice, I suppose. I'm not really sure what I can do then. Maybe I should rough the second heart in between. Like diamond switch, heart rough, diamond switch. But in that case, even if as soon as East wins the ace of clubs, we toast, because East was our final trump and continues hearts. So that's not really good. We needed to draw 2 rounds of trumps, right? Since East returning a heart is just way too dangerous for us. So I suspect East's distribution to be 3, 6, 3, 1, 3. Yeah, 3, 6, 1, 3 will be East's distribution. But what do we actually do against it? Since West will surely keep a club until the end. So, winning our 3 of clubs in the final trick or anything like that seems rather utopian to me. So draw trumps twice and play 4 rounds of diamonds. That's certainly possible. The problem with all of that being that East has a high trump. And he can draw the final trump in dummy with it. As soon as he gets the lead. And then enjoy his hard suit. I'm still drawn to that. Like, drawing trumps twice and then playing 4 rounds of diamonds and East will have to discard. Quite a lot actually. Because he can't afford to ruff a diamond at any point. If he ruffs a diamond, I'm pretty sure we're there. Because dummy remains with one trump which can ruff our club loser in the end. So East actually needs his trump to cover the one in dummy, so dummy can't move the club loser. So East will never ruff a diamond. He will just happily discard 2 hearts and a club, presumably. Now it's North's turn and I want to somehow drive out the ace of club from East. Yes, and I think I can just do that by playing the queen. If East, well, no, East will play the ace and draw the final trump from dummy. That's the whole problem. Maybe actually as soon as East discards his first club, I must act. Can I somehow eliminate West from the equation? Like making it such that only East and no one else guards the club suit. There is no real squeeze threat in clubs from south side, since West guards the clubs. And West doesn't need to guard any other suit. So we can draw trumps twice and then play, let's say, only 2 rounds of diamonds. East will have to make a discard, presumably a club. And now how does that help us? See, I would love to drive out the ace of clubs right now. Since East cannot return a trump. The problem being East just returns a heart, and as long as West still has trumps, East returning a heart is a huge issue. So we can avoid this by drawing trumps twice. But then we run into another predicament, which is East, as soon as he wins the ace of clubs can pull the final trump. Yes, we can bring by playing diamonds, ruffing hearts in between. We can, or even not ruffing hearts, I suppose we can. We can bring East down to the situation where he has like. We can play the four of clubs from dummy. Let me put it that way. If we play the four of clubs from dummy, East can never afford to win the ace. Never. So East will play low and we will win the king. And then we can continue the diamond suit, possibly. Yes, East can ruff, but whenever East ruffs, we're fine. Since the trump in dummy remains in that stage. So East will make some discards, and East will probably at that point come down to his high trump, the ace of clubs, and two hearts. Or one heart. We can choose that if we ruff a heart in between. Doesn't matter, I think. So it's one heart. But North at that stage will remain with the Queen of Clubs, a trump, and one or two hearts also. Now does one of those situations actually help us? Could we actually just make 10 tricks that way? Maybe I'm thinking about this in the entire wrong way. If I pull trumps twice, that's two more tricks. So we already have 3 tricks at this stage. Maybe I should just think about making 10 tricks rather than eliminating losers. So North can play the four of clubs at some point, and East cannot afford to win the ace, otherwise we don't need to take care of our club loser in hand anymore, since the queen and the king both are high. So East cannot afford to play the ace. He has to play a low club. At that stage, we win the king of clubs. That's one more trick. And East can never afford to ruff a diamond, because if he ruffs a diamond with his last remaining high trump, there remains a trump in dummy to take care of the club loser. So that's out of the question for him either. So he can't do much, actually. We win the king of clubs, we win 4 diamond tricks. And if we now can ruff hearts twice, we are there. There is actually no need for us to play for eliminating our losers. We can just switch gears and go for 10 tricks. That's actually quite cool, I guess. So we will just play 2 rounds of trumps. We need to, since we can't afford East to return hearts. And now I need to be careful. I need 3 dummy entries. 2 for ruffing hearts and 1 for playing the 4 of clubs from dummy side, since that's what I need to do in the club suit. But we have 3 dummy entries in diamonds, that's okay. So let's play 2 rounds of diamonds. Once again, East. East cannot afford to spend his high trump roughing. Because then the 7 of spades remains in dummy. And so now we're in dummy. Now we need to play the 4 of clubs, I suppose. East cannot win the ace. He will play the jack and we take it. Okay, so we have converted our king of clubs. Now that crossing diamonds once again East isn't roughing because he can't afford to do that. Now we rough a heart in hand since we're in dummy. Now we return to dummy in diamonds once again. And once again, East cannot rough, I suppose. And we play another heart from dummy. And we rough this one and we just have our 10 tricks done. We didn't need to go for the elimination of losers. Sometimes you really have to switch gears and look for winners instead, even in Trump contracts, and that's a very tricky thing to do sometimes, but when eliminating your losers isn't actually possible, the line you should go for is just look at winners instead, and usually that involves roughing a lot, like roughing a lot with your long hand of trumps to convert low trumps into tricks despite opponents still having higher trumps. So West leads the ace of hearts. East wins and continues the suit we rough, yeah. We cannot afford If South now plays a club, there's a problem with East returning a heart. Yeah. And if we draw 2 rounds of trump first, well, now the heart return isn't an issue anymore, but now East can draw the remaining trump from dummy whenever he wins his ace of clubs. And then we don't have any chance anymore to rough our 3 of clubs. Draw 2 rounds of trumps and yeah, immediately play a low club. Or after 1 diamond switch, doesn't matter. Well, yeah, you could see this as a dummy reversal. A dummy reversal is actually roughing so many tricks in your long trump hand that it becomes your shorter trump hand, and by that means you can possibly secure an extra trick, just like roughing in the shorter trump hand would do automatically. But I don't really think about it this way, actually. I more think about it in terms of how many tricks do we make, actually. So in this case, how can we make 10 tricks? Cross in diamonds. Rough a heart. I said that once already. Cross in diamonds. Rough a heart. Yeah. Yeah, whenever East roughs a diamond, we're safe, because then the 7 of spades remains in dummy, and the 7 of spades will take care of our club loser in the end. Yeah, that was a very, very instructive hand actually. This one was a little more difficult in my, in my personal, uh, in my, well, in my personal, perception, I suppose. Yeah. This one was a little more difficult, because we needed to switch gears entirely and, stop thinking about, eliminating losers altogether, and, just thinking about roughing hearts from dummy, which you could, like the explanation said, could actually call a dummy reversal. That's, I guess, a fine terminology, even though I don't use it usually. I just call it playing for winners. All right, I will be off for a few days now. Have a good night and see you over the next weekend.